You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. We have two young ladies in the building we're about to talk to from Black Enterprise Magazine.
You forgot how to say your name.
Sirita Wright.
Sirita Wright. Oh my gosh.
You like combined both of our names.
Sirita Wright.
But that's cool. This
Y'all
is
a
my
team.
home.
Sarah
We're a team. It's
Our
cool.
producer wrote Sarah,
You know,
and he wrote
Sirita.
Safon.
That
listen.
sounds like a great restaurant, by the way.
It does. You know, it sounds like a restaurant in Bed-Stuy, actually.
How about introduce yourself?
Saragina, right? Yeah, Saragina.
Sarah.
I am Sirita Wright.
Sarita Wright.
Yes, and I'm Safon Floyd.
Safon
I had
Floyd.
Safon. I just Sarah.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming this morning.
Thank you for having us, guys.
From Black Enterprise Magazine.
You guys had a
Absolutely.
question when I was out there.
Did we?
Yeah.
Did
What was
we?
your question?
More like a request.
What you want?
A
What?
request to pose a question.
Yes.
Is that what
That's
y'all,
good.
it's not
I
what y'all
like
asked
that.
me, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
But that is still a good question.
They asked me, do we play gospel
They
music?
didn't.
I
Don't
was
say
like,
they. Don't say they.
Oh, yeah.
It was me.
okay.
I asked.
I'm like,
Sirita wanted to know that.
I
no.
did.
What was your question?
Well, that was my question,
Oh,
but
we
we
have-
were proposed to ask
That's the
another question.
Do
Which
guys
was?
generally roughhouse like that? The way you guys-
Is that prison game?
We don't know everything.
Prison
but we
something?
we do play a game called Prison.
Stop it.
No, that's what it's called. That's what we call it.
That doesn't sound like a fun
But I didn't think that it was real. Like I had
Yeah,
a
that's
real
what we call it.
name.
We call it Prison.
It's real. It's real.
Kind of just
Like if a big prison fight was to break out, that's how it would go down.
okay.
Well, who wins? How do you determine?
Well, it depends. If you have an alternative lifestyle, everybody wins.
You know what?
If all parties involved,
Well, there
Oh,
it
to the
is.
gospel question. I can't answer that question.
if all parties involved have an alternative lifestyle, everyone wins.
See,
No, but before they came in, there was a little bit of like the guys
We were tussling.
Yes, tussling.
touching each other.
No,
Well,
tussling.
listen,
Oh, touching.
we're not
tussling.
here. We're not here to talk about gay guys. We're here to talk about black women. Okay, y'all have the Power Summit coming, right?
we have the Women of Power
Yes,
Summit coming up.
okay.
Yes, yes. Are you guys going to come?
Yes, it's in Phoenix.
It is in
Arizona.
Phoenix, Arizona.
March 9th through 12th.
March 9th through 12th.
Yes.
We're very, very excited about it. We have Ursula Burns, Felicia Rashad. These are two of our Legacy Award winners. We also have the editor-in-chief of Teen Vogue, Elaine Wentworth, coming.
yep.
Bozoma St.
Yep.
John, who is from Beats.
Oh, she went
I
to
met
my
her.
college.
Yeah.
We went to Wesleyan.
What?
She went to Wesleyan.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow. I met her in Anguilla over the New Year's.
Nice.
Yeah,
How was that? Did you guys have a good time?
I did. I mean, I just went up to her and told her I respect
Yeah.
everything she's doing.
I look forward
Yeah.
to telling her that as well.
Grilla, you guys are rich.
Listen.
Okay.
Be nice.
No.
Black Enterprise,
no.
I do
baby.
decent. in life. God is good to me. What do you want me to say?
Amen.
All the
Yeah.
time.
That's
So
real.
let's talk about this Black Women of Power Summit.
Yes. Well, it's not just for Black women. I mean, we are Black Enterprise, but it's for all women, in particular minority women. We have been doing this the 12th year now, I believe.
Let me look at my calendar.
Yeah. And it's a great 4 full days packed of inspiration, amazing workshops. We talk about how to leverage your jobs, how to build wealth, which is usually the absolute most packed session. These
Star
are
Jones does a great
Star
session every
Jones.
year.
Yeah, I mean it's a great place for sisterhood. We've actually met women who've been at the event who come back year after year who have met their business partners, have gotten mentors. It's not an inexpensive conference by any means, but a lot of women who attend tend to be on the younger side, they get their jobs to sponsor them. So
Yes.
it's just really important to build that sisterhood, but also, it's business. It's about, making money, diversifying your income, but at the end of the day, you have to network. You have to be in the room. You have to know who the power players are.
I feel like that's the most important thing nowadays because everybody's all tripping about who's in the White House. It's like, look, who cares? Empower yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like if we got to get money so we can empower other people and empower our communities.
Absolutely.
That's the place you want to be to start.
And I completely agree with you guys. Like the first thing when you came up here, Sirita was like, so how's everything going with your house? How's the juice bar and all of that stuff? And it is nice that we can check up on each other and see what's going on. And a lot of times I feel like it is for a lot of people kind of intimidating to start something new and to invest your own money into something in your time, not knowing that it's going to work out.
Man,
But that's what entrepreneurship is all about. You take that leap out there. It's not for everybody.
Lips
It's
on the
not
mic,
for
boo.
faint of heart.
I'll
I'm
put you-
sorry.
there you
Yeah,
go.
it's not for the faint of heart. Yeah, it's not for everybody, but that's what it's all about.
With a great risk comes a great reward.
That's what they say.
Absolutely.
That's what
Yeah.
they say.
And
You learn something.
I say this, even in ventures that don't work out, you learn so much from that.
Absolutely.
That you know what to do the next time.
You hope so. Yeah, we just honestly, people always say it's so expensive to start as an entrepreneur. It's so expensive. But just last week, we had an article do great about starting your career with $150.
I saw that.
$150.
$150.
What did
is
they
really all
Yeah,
you
give us
need.
some of those tips.
Yeah, what did they start
then
for
you start with
$150?
like your website. You can go to Wix or Foursquare, do something that's Squarespace. Excuse me, do something.
Wix, that's food stamps.
No, Wix.com. Wix.com.
Oh.
Get your website. You know what I mean? You have so many tools that are social media that are free that you can use to help to get your business up there. No one's doing brick and mortars anymore, so you don't have to do that. All you really need is your laptop, your idea, a couple of resources. I mean, you don't want to do it all by yourself for too long, but while you have
Man,
to,
I
it
know
only
these.
takes $150.
You're absolutely right, and I know these kids. They started this company where they found something they could sell. If they created something and they sold it, they started it in May. They've already made over $150,000 in profits,
And how much
and
did they
all
start
they
with?
use is social media. Like
Yep.
literally nothing.
Exactly.
Like they paid for the materials to get the materials. They had more orders before they had
The cards.
actual.
The mark
wow.
cards.
Don't tell the people who they are. Okay, I didn't want to put them out there yet.
Sheesh.
But yes, those people.
They haven't heard
I mean,
the right-
technology has definitely afforded all of us the opportunity to diversify and create additional revenue streams. I mean, every last one of you guys has a podcast.
Yes.
Every last one of you guys has another hustle outside of
radio.
just this. And even with this climate of politics, it's even more important to understand the tax laws, understand opportunities that are available in your city, in your state, because there's a lot of money that is absolutely given away. I mean, our small business editor, Carolyn Brown, writes about it a lot, but there's grants. There are things and money and resources out here to help you. And as people of color, we have such distinct, dynamic voices, and sometimes we don't tap into our power the way that we could. Especially, I mean, Twitter is a great case for it. You know, you see our intellectual property being just hijacked left and right. But sometimes it's like, you know, take a step back. Is that something I could trademark? Could I
Yes.
put that?
Yep.
Could I put that on a shirt?
Yes.
You know what I
Somebody give it
mean?
to 'em for free.
And a lot
Really.
of times you can put them on a platform that doesn't cost you anything. You know, you have to pay if you make a sale. I mean, we started a cannabis startup just from working at Black Enterprise,
yeah.
covering cannabis. We've been doing it for 2 years.
2 years now.
And we just really started paying, like, you know, to
Y'all
incorporate.
got y'all a trap house?
No,
got a digital trap house? What y'all got?
no
Touching the
trap
plant.
house.
Now, I've been reading about investing in cannabis right now. This is
the
the
yes, exactly. Right now. But by 2020, they're expecting cannabis industry to be what?
Ooh, $22 billion.
I see
Yes.
that little weed pin on you. I was wondering
Yes,
why the weed pin was
yeah,
there.
you know,
Break it down.
speak-
What's the cannabis startup?
Well, it's
Yeah.
called Estro Haze.
Yeah.
We have a podcast, but we are a multi-platform company. We have a website. We interview amazing people of color,
People of color in
mostly
cannabis.
In cannabis. And you were talking about women. There are so many women of color running cannabis businesses.
Shout
It's
out to Wanda
It's
insane.
been like that for a few years.
It
actually.
really has. And, you know, for every person that says, oh, it's not a lot of people of color in it, we can tell you 10 people that are. And, you know, there's a lot of fear and hesitation with even entering into the cannabis industry. But like we said, we don't touch the plant. You know, we live in a state where we can't touch the plant. You know, we can't make a profit from it. But there are podcasts. There are amazing writers. There's so much opportunity. And
Accountants,
Accountants,
It's almost like whatever
lawyers.
you can do in the cannabis
Yeah.
industry, and right now is the time to get in it because
Absolutely.
it's booming, but it's not like oversaturated
It's not there
yet.
yet,
No.
Exactly, it's not oversaturated yet. So it's the time.
It's the time. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I was just thinking that the amount of auxiliary services that people have created. You know, Wanda James is an amazing sister out in Colorado, the first Black woman to own and operate a dispensary. But her husband is a certified chef, and he teaches other chefs how to cook with cannabis. There's these kids who have a startup called My THC Guide. It's a Facebook bot, and you legit put in your zip code. It'll tell you cannabis-related events in your area. If you want to learn about the strains, it'll tell you. But this is a Facebook bot.
Right.
You know, this is stuff that, you know, if you got a little technical skills, again, going back to networking and meeting people who have a skill that you can work with, you can create something, not touch the plant, and be in the game. And I think that's the most important thing is getting in the game and not being afraid.
I hear people make excuses all the time when you tell them, oh, people can have great ideas, but if you don't ever do anything to implement those ideas, then it's nothing.
Oh, the
What's the
idea is
point?
the easy part.
Right.
I have
Yeah.
ideas
All day long.
See what
have
the
an
Bible
idea
say?
right
The
now.
Bible say faith without works is
It's
dead.
Yeah. All right. Now
But
don't get
people
us
talk
started. Don't get us
themselves.
started.
Listen.
They talk themselves out of doing things. And,
I mean, I
oh,
do
you
it.
know
I'm
what? It's
guilty
going to
of
be
doing
too
it
hard.
myself.
It's going to cost too much money. I don't know where to start. It's going to take up too much time. I already have this going on.
Bye.
After 2 years of complaining, you could have had it done and been off
Right.
the ground and been doing like his boys doing.
I mean, the
making all
Bible
that good
also
money.
says a man's gifts will make room for him.
There you go.
So if you don't step out, how do you know what's possible? We've stepped out and had more people wanting to help us and offering their support than when we were like, oh man, should we do it?
It's cannabis.
It's cannabis. Oh no.
Conflict of interest.
Our CEO has embraced it. He's like, I want a cannabis panel as far as we got, because there's interest there and there's money there. And why shouldn't we have a seat at the table? If I have to force my way sitting at the table, I'm going to get to that table.
That's the other thing, too. Everybody talks about having a seat at the table. We're really in an era where you can create your own table.
You can create your own table.
You can have your own
Exactly.
table.
You see that who table, mine? Y'all all invited.
Now, why does it feel like women are leading all the charges? Like, I think about the Women's March this past weekend, and I think about how we were all waiting for a woman president.
Yes.
That didn't happen.
That ain't happen.
But maybe this is what we were actually waiting for, this energy of women taking the charge.
I mean, I think women have been taking the charge. We've had the charge for a long time now. Recognition, you know what I'm saying, for taking the charge has probably been a little subtler. But it's a little lax. But I think we've been in the forefront for a long, long time. Even behind every good man, there's the driving forces.
I think one of our
Generally
biggest issues is that women always try to pit each other against each other. And so does society. Like men will be like, oh, like there's only one spot.
Oh, no.
For a woman.
Yeah.
People
No.
always act like that. Like it's, you see that in every industry. You see women as far as in acting, they don't get paid the same amount as men for lead roles.
Very true.
You see women as artists, it's either her or her. It can't be like they coexist together.
Yeah, I think right now what's happening is that women are becoming more undeniable. The greatest athlete in the world is arguably
Serena Williams.
a woman. You know what I mean? We got Oprah Winfrey, we got Beyonce. I mean, Kathy Hughes, we just spoke to Kathy Hughes last week. Like, you have these
You got people like Bo from Apple.
Exactly.
man.
Because see, I love everybody you name, but I want people to start thinking outside of entertainment and athletics.
Exactly.
I know that sounds
That's
crazy
true.
coming from a
No.
radio personality, but still.
No, people
absolutely.
need to see themselves in all industries. If you don't see yourself, you don't think that it's attainable. You don't think that it's possible.
Exactly.
I mean, look at, I don't know if you guys saw the story about the 3 little boys growing up Barack. All 3 of them were named Barack, but that was after the presidency. You know what I mean? Like, I made the joke, half joking, like, do you guys play gospel? Because I remember when I was growing up, I could hear Kirk Franklin, but I could hear Onyx like 2 songs afterwards.
Kirk Franklin ain't gospel.
Yes, he is.
He is, though.
Alternative gospel.
But it's still, you know what I mean, a part of the genre. But, if people don't see themselves, if we don't highlight people, like you did say, who are not entertainers. There are amazing people who are mayors, who are aides, who are interns. Like, we have to highlight everyone because everyone's not going to be president.
Right, true.
It's not going to happen.
Exactly.
And everyone's not going to be Beyonce. It's not going to happen.
Now, for
but
the young community, what do you suggest to help them to invest and to possibly start a future? Because a lot of them, when I was in high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was confused. And when I got to college, it was just kind of like, well, I'm just going to keep taking classes till I figure it out. What do you suggest them to do to be entrepreneurs besides the website thing that you named?
Well, actually, I was the same way in high school. I like to say a wayward child. And I just kind of let God, I believe, just kind of lead me where he wanted me to go. And I mean, ended up here. This is insanity.
Yeah.
But there is something to be said about trying things. If you try it, you can knock stuff out a lot quicker. Go, okay, I want to be a jewelry designer. I tried while I rap, and I said, girl, this ain't for you.
But the good news is I think there's that.
I was going to say there's nothing wrong with also not knowing.
There's nothing wrong with
and I
it.
think that, to me, children seem a lot more bold, even with, than I was coming up. I didn't have the gall to even go out there to really try to do something. I was kind of on my trajectory. You go to high school, you go to college. Now the children are seeing so much with so much access with social media that I think they're more inclined to take risks.
Right.
I feel like that. Even with the content you see they post, their creativity is off the charts.
You find out what you love to do, but you also find out what you don't love to do sometimes.
Exactly.
You know
What
how
they're
many people
risk-taking.
have multiple jobs before they settle on a career? Because there's a difference between having a job
Yeah.
and having a career.
But Envy, you know what? I would say this. At the end of the day, you want to own something. So if that means for you that you need to buy a website domain, at least that's something you own, because you could build up a massive Twitter following or Facebook following. And if Facebook decides, say, today or tomorrow to delete your account, even if it's an accident, you have lost all of that. So if you have a home that you own and you put people into that sales funnel, into that marketing funnel, they should be able to come back to your site. They should be able to sign up for your newsletter.
Right.
And if it's just a matter of creating a website where you do, GIFs and cool tumblers and you just curate content, you'd be amazed at museum curators who will come and seek you out. Like, yo, that was dope what you did. I would love for you to do it at our museum here. But you definitely need a piece of digital space that you actually own.
And also don't hesitate to ask for people to mentor you and to work hard, because sometimes people want things, so instantaneously, and it doesn't happen like that. Sometimes you do have to go and work for somebody and work somewhere and get that knowledge, even if you're not making any money at all.
Yeah.
You know, you get that valuable knowledge because you pay to go to school. Why wouldn't you go work for somebody for free to get those relationships and that knowledge?
A lot of kids don't recognize opportunity if it's not a paycheck attached to it.
Man, I worked as a restaurant hostess in Tribeca for a year and a half while I was pursuing acting. I mean, it was crazy. It was grueling. But I'm seeing like Harvey Weinstein and all these amazing people come in. And seeing those people motivated me to keep going. And you gotta humble yourself.
Yes, you have to be humble.
Come on, you don't know who you meet.
That's a good example too, though. You wanted to be an actress. Yeah. Clearly, you didn't make it.
I'm still doing it.
Oh, you still trying?
I still am. Absolutely, yeah. Don't you come for me, honey. Don't you do it. You don't know my story. I'm still on my journey. You don't know my story. Okay.
What I was gonna say, you found something else, but so I was gonna say, when do you know when to quit? But clearly, you haven't quit.
No, absolutely, I haven't. No, and I won't quit.
There comes a point though, not with this actor, but there does come a point where you should fold them.
So when would you quit?
When you
say, you know what, enough's enough. When would you quit?
You know, I haven't thought about it because, I mean, I haven't gotten to where I wanted to be. You know what I mean? Like, I did some background work a couple weeks ago on a Spike Lee project. I did the Kimmy Schmidt show.
Michelle there?
No. Kimmy Schmidt,
Love it.
I got a web series that's coming out next month on the Brick Network.
There we go.
So, you know, things are happening.
That's right, Sirita. You let him know.
But you know what? But going back, like, that's not my only job. And until that does become my only job, I have to work.
That's important.
I have to support myself.
While you're chasing your dreams, you got to deal with your reality.
But there are people who will stop doing everything else and focus solely on that. Because sometimes you have to say, okay, well, maybe I could have achieved more if I would have stopped.
And that risk, I mean, you know when you're in a place where you can take that risk. I think that's important. Whether it's mentally, financially, you're in a place where you can say, you know what, I don't even want to work here no more. Yeah. Don't know where my next paycheck comes from, but
there's a lot of directors and casting agents watching this right now, so our girl Sirita.
Exactly. Shout out. It's an actress right here.
But I mean, even Black Enterprise.
What Charlamagne said?
What you say? But you know, I'm going to say even Black Enterprise being led to this job has afforded us and me massive opportunities.
Right.
Yep.
So I can't say. Acting is a marathon.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I have to be conscious of the opportunities that I do get placed in front of and see how it works. Because at the end of the day, it's going to all work out.
And you're making money so you can pay for your own little stuff to get produced and put online.
Absolutely.
You don't got to
wait
on
on
nobody.
Issa Rae and get inspired by how her web series ended up being an HBO show.
Yeah.
And she went right back to YouTube.
I mean,
she got a show with Jesse.
Jesse Smollett.
Giant.
She has another one.
You know, because she also recognizes where her core audience is, and she wants to make sure she keeps creating content there. You know, you have to diversify. You really do.
Now tell us about the event. When is the event again, and how can people sign up?
March 9th through 12th. It's in Phoenix, Arizona. You go to blackenterprise.com/events/WPS and you register. It's a good time to do it right now. Lock that in. Get your girls. It's about honoring and fostering the nature of your sisterhood.
Yes.
So
and men are not invited, right?
Stop it.
Yeah, men can come.
Listen, and it's a great gift to give your wife or your girlfriend. Yeah. It really, really is a sister. You know, if you're mentoring a young lady, it's an awesome gift.
How much is it for the pass, the 3-day pass? I'm sure.
$11.95.
Now, is it just for Black women? Because you know, there's this whole big discussion about intersectionality.
They already said it's
not. Feminism. Okay.
All women. Any woman that wants to come. That wants that energy, that wants to be fed, more than welcome.
I feel like y'all are stronger together. I feel like everybody's stronger together, but
absolutely.
I feel like y'all stronger together.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate y'all for joining us.
Let's go. Let's link up.
Let's
All
do
right,
it.
Angela, you going? You should go out there and speak.
I know. I just looked at my calendar just to make sure I was available, so I can.
Are you?
Yeah.
Hey,
I'll be available 2 of those days.
Yes.
There you go.
That's good.
Okay.
And always remember the greatest rapper of all time died on March 9th. That's Biggie Smalls. So y'all might want to do a little tribute to him.
We'll do it. Do a tribute
that's
to
noted.
Biggie.
Yeah.
Duly noted.
What?
Nothing. All right. Sirita and I don't know the last name. Safon. I don't know the last name. They took my paper. All right.
Safon Floyd, Sirita Wright,
There
sir.
you go.
All right. Well, it's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Every weekday morning. Tune in